Hello, guys. Welcome back to the Girls Lounge podcast. If you guys are having a great day today, today is going to be a really fun episode. We have a lot to talk about. We're going to get into our Spotify/Apple Rap results, which will be really interesting. And we have a lot to talk about in terms of F1. And it will be a very good episode. But before we get into it, make sure that you're following us. You leave a review, rate our show because it helps us out a lot. But without further ado, Liz, what have you been up to?
Girl, when I tell you I have been locked in or attempting to lock in, this week I had a 15-page paper to write, I had a Spanish paper to write, lots of discussion boards. So I very much, whenever I wasn't at work, I was locked in.
Girl, I'm so glad I'm out of that. Now, for me, I'm on winter break, so I don't have any of that final stress. My final grades have been putting in, but yeah, I do not miss that final stress and having to lock in. I've been living in peaceful bliss. And yeah, the only fun thing I've done so far is this past weekend I went to Winterfest at Kings Island. It was pretty dope. I've never even heard of it before, but my mom won tickets for it through her work. So my dad and I went, and it was really cool. I had some really good food. Y'all, I even got my parents to go on some rides with me, which I was surprised. And yeah, it was just a really good time. It really got me in the Christmas spirit.
You know, I had my last final today, my first and last final, 8 a.m. And I'm so happy to be in that Christmas spirit now. I can finally relax. I'm going to be taking some of that energy.
Good. You need that for real. And oh my gosh, I feel you about that final at 8 a.m. I had a final in every class this time, but three of them were in, wait, no. Two of them were in person, and then everything else was online. And my very first final was Monday at 8 a.m. I was like, wow, it's not for the weak.
Yeah, no, it was very humbling going to class when it was still dark outside and starting the final when it was still dark outside did not feel natural.
And now we're going to get into our favorites of the week. So mine is editing. Since I have literally nothing to do since this is winter break, I've been editing YouTube videos and it's so fun. For me, filming and stuff is fun, but the real art, the real creativity comes out in editing, and I've been loving it. I feel like the one I just posted was really fun. Oh, for those of you that don't know, I have my own YouTube channel. It's just my name, and I just posted a Thanksgiving vlog with clips from Thanksgiving Day and when my friends and I did Friendsgiving, and I really loved it because I feel like a real YouTuber because I got a free trial for Epidemic Sounds, so I got to use music that I hear in other YouTubers that I watch videos. I was like, wow, I feel so official.
I watched the Thanksgiving video today, Kennedy, and the vibes are so good. I wish I was back there. But my favorite of the week, I think, would have to be my mindless scrolling whenever I was taking breaks from my studying, specifically because my For You page kind of got on to that I'm watching Gilmore Girls, and it started showing me edits of Luke and Lorelai. And let's just say I actually need to get back to watching. I feel inspired by the TikToks I saw. So that was my favorite of the week, just taking a break from the studying.
I saw that you reposted a TikTok. That was a Gilmore Girls TikTok.
Yes, the way it is the edits are actually they're so good. I need to keep on watching so I can get to the scenes that I've seen within these edits.
Maybe next fall I need to get onto that show. But now, of course, my favorite segment every week, the sports corner. And this was going to be kind of sad because it's the last sports corner for a couple of months. So this past Sunday was the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Race 24 out of 24, the last race of the season, and it was so bittersweet. There's so much good in it and there's so much sadness in it, but we're gonna kind of break it down. First, we're gonna start with all the media and just things that were happening leading up to the race. First, if you listened to what we recapped last week, you would know that George and Max were beefing, and it continued. And basically, this weekend, George kind of put his side out there and basically said that, Max is a bully. He needs to be stopped. Oh, and he said that, Max starting to put, his head in the wall, which, seems so Max. That just seems like something he would say. I feel like Red Bull in general, that organization is just very, they have some aggressive drivers, I would say. Then, of course, that was all happening, and then I saw, the next day or so, Max and Kelly announced they were pregnant, and people were saying that Max did what PETA did in the Hunger Games in the second one, I'm pretty sure, where he was like, if it weren't for the baby. I was like, yep, that's exactly what he did. He shut them up real quick, and I just loved all the memes about it. And then, of course, we had the driver's dinner, which is more so becoming an annual thing. I know they did it a while back, they kind of stopped, and then they have started to do it again, and it's just so cool. Like, I wish I could be a fly on the wall and just see what they talk about. And people were wondering, like, like Max and George, where they sat together, and Lando. This is why I love F1, because the drivers are just so authentic on their social media. And he posted about the dinner, and in his caption he was like, yes, the two you're thinking of were sat as far apart as they could be. And I was like, Lando, you're coming through with what the people want. And then Esteban Ocon was also at the dinner, even though he unfortunately didn't drive this race. He came through with a photo of like the seating arrangements. I'm like, yes, y'all know what the people want.
No, because when Max released like the pictures of the pregnancy, since then, I used to barely get any like videos of Max, but I keep on getting now videos of him. I forget the Penelope, is that her name? I could be making that up, but his partner's daughter. And I keep on getting like little clips and edits of him, like, oh, like I'm already kind of like a dad, and like him hugging her and stuff, and like showing like the sweet side of him. Cause I feel like all we really see is, his like more like not aggressive, but not sweet side.
Yeah, I think he's gonna be a really good father. And like, even before this pregnancy announcement, like, he's talked a lot about like how he would parent, and how like he kind of hopes that like his child like has no racing like talent in him. Like, he does not want his child into this, because Max has had like a very tough upbringing. He has learned from his parents' mistakes, and I think he'll be a really good father. From what we've seen, he's been a really good bonus dad, like he put it to Penelope. So I'm really excited, and this baby is going to be literally so adorable, because his girlfriend is literally so pretty, and Max is, a handsome guy. So I think their baby's literally going to be adorable. And now on to practice. While Max and George were beefing, we did still have some happiness. In FP1, Arthur and Charles made history by being like the first brothers to be in the same session together. Now, a lot of people are wondering, like, oh, like, why is Arthur doing this? Liz being one of them. Arthur is part of Ferrari's driver development program, and so many other teams have them as well. Like, there are so many other development drivers in FP1 as well. So they are required to drive at least 1 to 2 practice sessions within the season. So they did that for Arthur, and it was really sweet, especially because I didn't know this, but I was listening to a podcast today, and they actually had to put Arthur's driving career like on pause for a little bit when they were younger, so they can have more money for Charles, which I'm like, oh, that's really sweet. And just to see how like Ferrari is really helping Arthur, and that they just get to have that experience together, especially with their dad gone. Racing is something that they have, and their mom was there, and both of their girlfriends were there, so I think that was like a really sweet thing for them to get to do.
Yeah, I was one of the people that was confused on why he was driving, because I knew he wasn't like racing. I was confused on how that worked with like their rankings and stuff like that, but that makes so much sense.
And then following FP1, we got some bad news. Charles was hit with a 10-place grid penalty for exceeding his battery allocation, which I believe that just means you're only allowed to change your power unit like a certain number of times. And so obviously when you go beyond that limit, you will get penalized, and that happened. But it was like for good. Like, I think there was something wrong with his battery or whatever, so like obviously they changed it. Like, they just took the risk, and as we see now that the race is over, honestly, that penalty didn't do much, because Charles really did his thing in that race. But yeah, so he did get that penalty, so I was like, dang. So I'm like, McLaren, hope this doesn't put too much pressure on you, but that championship for the team is looking like yours this year.
No, because like when I saw that Charles got, because he was like back 14 places, no, 10 places or something. I don't know. It was double digits that had the penalty or whatever. And I was like, that's actually crazy for him to like catch up and try to like get on the podium.
Yeah, when I saw that, I was like, Charles is gonna have to do a lot of work tomorrow and in quali. Which, speaking of quali, I don't have much to say about the events that actually happened in quali, but it ended with a McLaren 1-2, and then Sainz was third, and then I think it ended up Charles. I think he would have been dead last, but then I think something happened with Colapinto, so he was actually 19th for the starting grid for the race. Now onto the race. It was very stressful, to say the least. Being a fan of teams that are competing was very stressful. Oscar got hit in the first lap, which I was like, wow, like, how are you gonna do this to me? And guess who he got hit by? No surprise, Max. I don't know, a lot of people have different opinions. In my opinion, it looked like Oscar was ahead and had the right to go into this corner. But yeah, so Max hit him. He spun out, so he dropped a lot of grid places. It was tough to see him try to come back up the grid. Lando, he started P1, and usually people try to come for him saying that he has really bad starts, but he had a really good start this time and he maintained the lead the whole time. There was lots of good battles the whole race, up and down the field. But in my opinion, I feel like some people were like fighting the wrong battles. I feel like with F1, you should know, like, if you're a midfield team, don't try to fight the top field, please. Like, you're fighting for literally nothing. Like, I felt like there are some people battling Oscar who didn't need to be battling Oscar, and I'm like, y'all, he needs to get up front. Please let him. The race ended with Lando P1, Sainz P2, and Leclerc P3, which meant that McLaren won the World Championship. I was literally so excited. I was watching it in a hotel room, and I literally jumped on the bed and went, woo! Like, I was so excited. And post race, all I have to say is all the content has me crying. Between McLaren winning the first championship since 1998, 97, I don't know, it's been 26 years. And then with Lewis leaving Mercedes and going to Ferrari, he's been with Mercedes for like 13 years. So a very iconic and long partnership. And then obviously Carlos going to Williams, and just a lot of drivers leaving the grid because we're getting a lot of new ones, just like a lot of change. So it was very bittersweet, but I love seeing all the celebrations in the McLaren garage, and they absolutely deserved it. And next year I'm hoping for another championship for them, and hopefully Lando winning the drivers championship.
No, because Charles really did his thing. Like, he went from 19 to literally on the podium. Yeah, he did something. And then I've seen like all the like clips of like Carlos, his like last little radio moment with Ferrari when he did the, what's that one thing that he says?
Is it Forza Ferrari?
No, the from the song. The song.
Oh, Smooth Operator?
Yes, he did his last smooth operator with Ferrari, and then just like even Charles's little message, like, oh, I think I shed a tear or something, you know, and then all the edits and the clips, so good.
Yes, and I saw the radio message of Charles. He was like, I really wish we could have won this for Carlos. And I'm like, I just love how even at the end, he's just thinking of Carlos. Like, it's just so sweet. Like, I can truly say that, like, Carlos has probably been one of the best teammates that Charles has had so far. And it's just so sweet. And and people were pointing out that, like, they're glad that Carlos ended on a podium with Charles and Lando, because Carlos used to be Lando's teammate at McLaren. So it was, like, really sweet that he has, like, two of his, like, best racing friends up there with him. And then also Charles' helmet was also really cute as well. The helmets are actually really good. George had a really good helmet too for Lewis. And I'm just like, ugh, I cannot do this. It's so sad. And I saw some pictures of like Carlos with like tears in his eyes, and even Charles, and like a clip of them two walking off the podium together for like the last time as his teammates. And that one made me tear up.
Yes, like the full circle moment of just everyone on the podium and like the connections. And I also saw the helmet for Lewis. That helmet was so good. Yeah, no, it was a really good weekend.
I agree. I'm really excited for next season. It'll be my first season watching it from start to end. So I'm very excited, and it's going to be the last season before a whole bunch of regulations change. So hopefully it's a good one. I don't know what I'm going to do without these months. I know Drive to Survive season 7, I believe, is supposed to come out in February or March. So, Netflix, hurry up. That's all I have to say for F1 this week. Don't know when Sports Corner will be back, but we'll miss her.
Until we find another sport to obsess over, Kennedy.
No, exactly. I need tennis to come back as well. But now we're going to get into our pop culture. We don't really have much today. I did ask on the Instagram, like, if there's anything you want to talk about. And the one thing that someone wanted us to talk about was the rumor that old boy cheated on Sabrina Carpenter. And the old boy in question is Barry. Don't know how to say his last name. He was in Eternals. So it came out that him and Sabrina are taking a break, and then there's a bunch of like rumors that like, oh, there's this influencer girl named Becky Hill that he cheated on Sabrina with. But yeah, honestly, I don't have a dog in the fight. I don't think Barry and Sabrina were ever giving like in game to me, so like I'm not really upset that they're not together. And I mean, she wrote please 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 about him, so it's like, did we really think that like, it was going to be a long lasting relationship?
No, I have the same thoughts as you, Kennedy. And just like the fact that she made a music video with him, I feel like she jinxed herself, because I feel like they weren't even together for that long. Like, it had just started, like the rumors coming out of them being spotted and stuff. So I don't know, I feel like you can make some music video with someone, you should have a little more like backing. So I don't know. I feel like she jinxed herself, but not saying she deserved the cheating if that is what happened.
Yeah, I will say I haven't even looked into like the rumors completely. Like I don't even know what proof people have. I just saw like a headline that apparently Becky Hill said that like, that's completely not true. But like I said, I haven't looked into it at all. I literally just saw a headline. So who knows what's true and what's not. But I'm like, if you did really cheat, how could you fumble the bag? Like Sabrina is literally that girl. Maybe they're both better off without each other. I did see where he like deactivated his Instagram, and like he came out with a statement of why he deactivated his Instagram. Apparently he's been getting a lot of hate. I'm not really on that side of the internet, so I haven't seen anything, but yeah, apparently people are being like super crazy, like standing outside like his child's like home that he lives in, and just weird things like that, which I'm like, if that's true, that's like actually crazy. Like people need to have some boundaries.
I do wonder though if he did cheat, like what was it, the whole relationship? Was it a one time thing? Like that kind of thing.
Yeah, and I wonder like why? Like why would you do that? And like how did you even come in contact with this girl? Like I'm gonna need all the details.
And now we're gonna go ahead and get into what we've been watching. So for me, I haven't been watching too much. I'm trying to remember. Yeah, I haven't been watching too much. Just a little Gilmore Girls here and there. Too busy studying. But now that that's over, I will be binging all my shows.
Yeah, next week you about to be coming with hecka things to talk about. But for me, since I'm, freshly on break, I've been taking that to my full advantage. I got some things to talk to you guys about. So I watched Guts the World Tour. Finally, I love Olivia Rodrigo. She's one of my favorite artists. And then I watched this movie called Afraid, and it's an AI horror movie. My brother and I watched it on Netflix. It was very interesting. I don't know, it was more like a commentary on like AI and letting it kind of like control our lives rather than it being like a super scary movie. I say I would give it like a 3 out of 5. I'm not sure I would necessarily recommend it, but like if you're interested in it, I will watch it. It was definitely an interesting movie. And then I started 2 shows. I started Dune Prophecy. It releases episodes weekly, Sunday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm 3 episodes in so far. There's 4 out, so I need to catch up. It's really good. I have watched the Dune movies, haven't read the books though. I do like the Dune movies. The second one was my favorite so far. I'm pretty sure there's a third one coming. And I will say, if you haven't watched the Dune movies, I personally don't think you need to watch those movies to enjoy the show. It takes place like 10,000 years before Paul Atreides is born, which is Timothy's character, and then like 200 years, I believe, after the Time Machine War, which is basically like big AI machines that were like going to like wipe out the universe, but then like they fought back. Blah 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 blah, and they kind of like restarted society, I guess you can say. So it's pretty good, and it's a completely different story than what's going on in Dune, I would say. So yeah, you don't have to watch it. It's really good. Honestly, don't have much to say because like we're in the middle of the story and like for figuring out what's like going on and like the evilness that they're fighting off. But it's really good. I just really love science fiction shows like that because they're just so grand, and it's like things like this are like why I love TV shows, movies, because it's just like so, I don't know, it's just very cool. And then I started The Ultimatum, which is basically that Netflix show from the same producers of Love Is Blind, where these couples come because one of them issued an ultimatum like, okay, like if you don't choose to marry me, soon, then, we're gonna break up. And so essentially they come to wherever, and then they essentially break up, and then they go through speed dating with all the other couples that are there, and then they will choose a partner from one of the other couples to have like a 3-week trial marriage with, live together like they're like acting like they're single and they're with this new person. And then when those 3 weeks are over, for the other 3 weeks they are back together with their original couple pairing. And then at the end, like you get to see like, okay, are they going to stay with their original partner, stay with their trial marriage partner, or just be single. And it gets really messy. Just like the concept of that show is messy, because what do you mean you issued an ultimatum and now you're on a reality TV show? Like that's just so messy, but it's good, I would say.
Side note, I just forgot something that we totally could have talked about in our pop culture, so we're just gonna talk about it now. Very on theme. You guys, Rivals season 2 got renewed, or Rivals got renewed for season 2. I don't know how we could forget that.
Oh my gosh, I remember you texted me about that. Yeah, I don't know how that like didn't come up to my mind. I'm actually so interested what's gonna happen based off the ending of season 2. It's gonna be good. I hope we see more romance between Ruber and Taggy, because that's the main reason I watched that show. But yeah, I'm super excited. Honestly, more excited than Max and Hall season 2, to be honest.
See, I feel like I'm equally excited. All I know is that they better roll out this season ASAP. It better be coming out 2025. Nothing about that 2026.
Exactly what you said. Hopefully they took a note from Max and Hall and they're gonna be filming like straight away. And now we're gonna get into our song of the week. So my song of the week is gonna be a Christmas song, and it is What Christmas Means to Me by Stevie Wonder, a classic. I'm gonna play my favorite part for you guys, or just the beginning. Oh, yeah. So yeah, I'm just really in the Christmas spirit right now. I'm gonna be listening to Christmas music from Further Notice. So yeah, that's my song of the week.
So my song of the week, keeping it on theme with Kennedy's, it's The Most Wonderful Time of the Year by Andy Williams, because it is officially the most wonderful time of the year for me. So that is my song of the week. Let me pull up my favorite part. And I am so happy to just be in that Christmas spirit. Side note, I also have been listening to Bad Bunny's new song a lot, but we're keeping with the Christmas trends on this episode.
Honestly, sometimes you just need that other music to balance it out. And now for the fun part of this episode, we're going to be getting into our Spotify/Apple Music rap results. Me and Liz have not looked at them since they've dropped. We might have accidentally gotten spoiled because, you know, they're trying to force it upon us because we haven't opened them yet. But I'm actually super excited to finally see what my year looked like.
No, because we've been waiting all week. I don't know nothing about mine. Because I almost got a spoiler when I went on Apple Music. It said like go to your playlist, and I thought it was gonna take me to like my regular playlist, and I clicked on it. Pretty sure it took me to like my like replay playlist. I immediately got out of there so fast. But I've been waiting for this moment. Everybody's been like talking and posting about theirs, like they're not accurate or they are accurate. And me and Kennedy have been living in, I don't know, in the unknown.
We've been in the upside down. No, but I got spoiled because I literally just opened my Spotify app and it said your top favorite song in January was Perfect, you know, that song from Stop Burn. And I was like, oh, thanks for letting me know. Like, I just came here for peace and you're spoiling my Spotify rap. But it's fine. I don't even think that's probably going to be a section of Spotify Wrapped. But before we get into our actual results, we're going to kind of like tell you guys kind of an idea of what we think our results are going to look like. And then obviously we're going to actually go into our apps and see what they actually look like. So Liz, what do you think your results are going to look like?
Okay, so I feel like mine are going to be all over the place. I'm not going to lie. I feel like my music carried on like same trends as past years, but I feel like there was a point where I was listening to certain music, and then there was a point towards the end of the year when I was listening to a different type of music, you know, a little bit more sadder music at some points. So I don't know like how often I listen to that, if that like is going to be reflected in my replay. But other than that, I'm calling it now. I don't think Harry Styles or Taylor Swift are going to be in my top. They normally are in my top. Like, they have held a good spot on there, but I don't think that they're going to be on there. At least for sure, I don't think Harry is, unfortunately. And then other than that, I feel like there's going to be a lot of Spanish music. Specifically, a lot of like Raul Alejandro. I feel like he's gonna be on there. Honestly, Kennedy, I feel like Wallows might not be on mine. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, those are my predictions.
Yeah, I think Wallows might still be on mine, but maybe lower. They've been like number one, but I love a lot of their new singles they've released this year, but I just definitely didn't listen to them as much as I have in the past. But honestly, I don't know. I feel like in the past, my top favorites, the kind of range is like Wallows, Beyonce, Taylor, Olivia, Rihanna. So basically just like rap, not rap. Well, I have had Drake too, but like rap, pop, and like indie artists, but mostly just rap and pop. But I listened to a lot more newer genres this year. I've listened to a lot more different songs. I've had a lot more different moods this year. So I don't know. I'm curious what my top genre is gonna be. Usually I feel like it's pop, but I feel like house has a good possibility of being up there because I listened to a lot of house music this summer because I got into house music this summer, and like music in different languages that I don't understand, but they're still a vibe. So I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. I have a feeling Lana is gonna be one of my top artists this year. Yeah, that's pretty much all I can think of. Oh, maybe Sabrina. I feel like I listened to a lot of Sabrina. I wonder if I've listened to Tate McRae enough in the past couple weeks for her to be up there somewhere, but we'll just see.
Do you have any guesses for your top song?
I don't know. I feel like I played Your Apartment a lot by Wallows. I feel like I also played She's Gone Dance On a lot and Teenage Dream by Olivia Rodrigo. I don't know. There's like certain songs that I just had like a hyper fixation on at different points of the year. So I'll be curious to see. But yeah. Wait, what was the first song I said that I played a lot was? Oh, Your Apartment. I wouldn't be surprised if Your Apartment was on there. But yeah, I can't think of anything else at the moment that like I really like religiously played. What about you?
I feel like the only thing I can like think of is either some like Lana song maybe, or this song by Raul Alejandro. It's called Desenfocado. I think that has a chance of being on there. I feel like I listened to that a lot, especially in the first half of the year, 24/7 on replay. But I don't know, we'll see. Like I said, this can go either way.
Okay, so I guess we're gonna just go ahead and open it, and we're gonna make sure that we take screenshots so that like the video listeners can see what we're seeing on our screen. So I'm gonna show you guys. Here's my Spotify Wrapped. Your 2024 Wrapped is here. Find out what road you're listening this year. Okay, I'm gone.
My little replay. Jump in, it says.
So for me, for Spotify, it showed me how many minutes I've listened to for this year, which I think is both music and podcasts. And so I've listened for 46,420 minutes this year, which I'm like, is that good or bad? That's definitely more than last year. I think that's like 10 times. Wait, not 10 times. I think last year was like 36,000. So now it's 46,000. Is that 10 times more? I don't know. I think Liz is better at math than me.
I zoned out on numbers, not gonna lie to you.
Nah, you good.
But mine for like the numbers, hold on. It's like I'm trying to like pause it so it doesn't like, go forward to the other stuff. But what was your total minutes?
It was 46,420.
Oh yeah, mine's like half a Kennedy's. Mine's 24,059. Yeah, 24,059. That sounds wrong. I feel like I'm saying numbers wrong. Anyways, it was that amount of minutes of music. And it says my longest listening streak was 44 days.
Okay, I've honestly thought yours would be higher. I feel like you listen to a lot of music and podcasts.
See, I think on Apple Music, it might not factor in podcasts since technically podcasts are a different platform, but I don't know how it works. I could be lying to you.
Okay, that's a good fact or a good. Y'all know what I'm trying to say. Okay, I'm gonna press or not press. Okay. Oh, I've played 170,000 songs this year. That's actually crazy. Oh, I think I'm about to get my top song of the year. Oh, I knew it. My top song was Your Apartment by Wallows.
Dang, Kennedy, you really guessed it.
Yeah, it said I played this song 44 total times, and I was the top 0.05% of listeners worldwide. That's actually crazy.
So basically, they just need to give you tickets for free.
No, literally.
This is like, mine's like all over the place, I feel like. Not like the stuff, but like the actual replay thing. Oh, I'm surprised by my top song, I'm not gonna lie. So my top song was by the Lumineers, it's Ho Hey, and I played it 49 times.
Okay, that's a good one.
Yeah, I did not think that was gonna be up there. Okay, yeah, I'm shook.
Yeah, I have that song in my country playlist. Okay, let me see what I have next. Wow, I'm like surprised, but like not surprised. I really did play that song a lot. Okay, what's next? While it's not a competition, oh my god, Spotify is so like extra. I think I'm about to get my top songs. Okay, so I just got my top songs. So my top 5 songs was first Your Apartment. Wallow, second, Back on 74 by Jungle, which I did play that song a lot, so that's not surprising. Move Your Body by Marshall Jefferson. It's a house music song. Friday. It's another house music song. And then this one is like, I don't know the category. It's like British, African, rappers. I don't really know how to say it, but it's To Swallow a Bomb. Featuring S&E. It's by Tito M, Yuppie, Burna Boy, and S&E. So I did play that song a lot over the summer. So I'm not surprised, but like, wow. I'm like, yeah, I did. Like, so far my rap is looking pretty accurate.
Okay, so the rest of my top 5 songs, so it was Ho Hey by the Lumineers was 49 plays. That was number 1. And then number 2, this was one of those songs I started listening to in the second half of the year, but it's called Baby Please. It's by Ivan Cornejo, and I listened to it 46 times. So it almost made it to number 1. And then my next one is I Remember Everything by Zach Bryan. I listened to that one 44 times. My like top 1, 2, and 3, they're very close. And then hold on, my phone just glitched out. 1 second.
Her phone is always glitching out, y'all, if y'all wanted to know.
Yeah. Okay, so my next one, top number 4 was Igual que un ángel, and that's by Kali Uchis and Peso Pluma. And then my number 5, I listened to that one 39 times. And then my number 5 was Bad Bunny song, and that one was Seda.
Good lineup. I was expecting, honestly, Gracie Abrams to be on there for real.
No, really. I'm gonna like continue to see like the rest of my thing where she pops up on here. She's not in my top 15.
Let's see what else Spotify has for me. Oh, I got like a little... Oh, shoot. Hold on. I think I accidentally skipped some things. Hold on a second.
I can go ahead and tell you guys my albums. I'm kind of shook. I didn't realize when Apple Music stopped, counting. But my top album of the year was the Wicked soundtrack. Yeah, from the new movie that came out like a couple weeks ago. Yeah, that was my number 1 album. Definitely caught off guard. I didn't think it was gonna make it on here. My second album was Rauw Alejandro's new album, Cosa Nuestra. Number 3, Taylor Swift made it on here. Tortured Poets Department. I didn't realize I listened to that one that much. And then number 4 album was Role Models album, Kansas Anymore. And then number 5 was Taylor Swift, Evermore.
Spotify is like, it done went off the rails. So we just did our top songs, and now they're deciding we're gonna go to podcasts. So we're just gonna roll with the flow. So I spent oh my god, I cannot read numbers. I spent 26,580 minutes listening to podcasts this year. So that was like, half of my total minutes, so I'm not surprised. I have a feeling I know what my top podcasts are going to be. My top podcast topic was society and culture. I was in the top 1% of society and culture listeners worldwide. That's interesting. My top podcast, yeah, I knew this was this was gonna be it. So my first one is What We Said. Love their podcast. They've been like number 1 ever since I've started listening to them. Second is Fan Behavior, which is a F1 podcast. My third is Lone Lobos with Sholo Marnuenya and Jacob Bertram. They're both from Cobra Kai. Love their podcast. Fourth is The Girls Bathroom. This is with Sophia and Cinzia. They're British YouTubers and podcasters. And my fifth is Paddock Project, a Formula One podcast. So, yep. These are pretty much all I listen to be honest.
Yeah, I don't think Apple Music does the podcast in here, so no podcast commentary from me.
Okay, I'm gonna press play again. Let's see if hopefully we get to the albums now. It says you've changed, and so has your listening. Let's look at your, oh my god, here they go. So now we're gonna look at my 2024 music evolution. In February. Let's see what it says. In February was your breakup cheerleading pop phase. You were really into artists like Olivia Rodrigo, Taylor Swift, and Sabrina Carpenter. No surprise there. In April was your bougie football rap season. You were all about artists like Future, Megan Thee Stallion, and Nicki Minaj. Very interesting. Is this gonna go through every month? August was your cinnamon softcore art deco moment, and I bet it's because I was listening to a lot of Lana probably. Yep, it says you were big on artists like Lana Del Rey, The Weeknd, and Montel Fish. Interesting. I only listened to one of his songs. You listened to 1,129 artists, but one had a special place in your ears. I'm pretty sure it's Olivia Rodrigo, because I skipped through and I saw it. Oh! Wallows was my top artist this year. I'm really surprised. It says your longest listening streak was 6 days. Let's see if it says my percentage. It says you're a top 1% fan and you spent 590 minutes together. Yeah, I'm actually really surprised that Wallows was my top artist this year.
Okay, so Apple Music's month to month is a little different. Like it gives you your top artist, top song, and top album. album. So I won't bore you guys with all of that, but I will tell you like my top artists each month, I guess. So January was Zach Bryan. February was Bad Bunny. March was Bad Bunny. I'm pretty sure that's when I was like only listening to him because I was gonna go to the concert. Then April was also Bad Bunny. May was Zach Bryan. June was Zach Bryan. July was Zach Bryan. August was Zach Bryan. September was Ivan. October was Gracie. You can tell when my half of the year got a little depressing in my music taste. And then November was Raul Alejandro. And then my top artists. So my number one artist was Bad Bunny. Number two was Zach Bryan. Number three was Taylor Swift. Okay, so she did keep a space. Number four, it's this Colombian band. Their name's like Morat. And then number five was Raul Alejandro. Honestly, I think all of my top artists are the same, except Harry isn't on here. I think Harry was replaced by Raul from last year.
T. So I think it's safe to say that Liz likes Bad Bunny and Zach Bryan.
You know, they have so much in common, right?
Exactly. Hopefully Spotify gives me my top artist. It says who else got a lot of play this year? Big reveal in 3, 2, 1. Oh, okay. I feel like I did a good job of guessing. I can't remember what I said in the beginning, but my top artists: 1, Wallows; 2, Olivia Rodrigo; 3, Taylor Swift; 4, Lana Del Rey; and 5, Sabrina Carpenter. So I feel like I got a lot right.
I don't remember the order, but I know you said all of those, I'm pretty sure.
So I just know myself so well. So that was actually all that Spotify Wrapped had for me. So I'll put on the screen my ending stats, and then Liz will share whatever else she has from Apple Music.
I'm still just so shocked that the Wicked album really made it up there.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised because that movie literally just came out. Like, you must have really been playing it a lot compared to those other albums.
You know, when I tell you, after I watched it, I normally listen like in the mornings when I get ready to this like news podcast. I'm pretty sure I was like 2 weeks behind on my news podcast because instead, all I was listening to was the Wicked soundtrack. And then when I was like going to class and everything or driving in the car, Wicked soundtrack was playing. So I guess it added up.
Yep, that will do it.
So it gives me on Apple Music my top genres, and it was Latin, alternative, country, pop, and then urban Latino. It gives me like my top songs by each month, but I won't bore you guys with all that. Just know there was one month where I went through like an Italian phase, and it was indeed my top song in March was an Italian song. And it gives me like all the playlists that I listen to. But that's about everything that it gives me.
Okay, so yeah, I just looked through Spotify real quick, and that's pretty much all I have to share with you guys. My raps was pretty good. I know there was some tea because everyone's like Spotify like left it to last minute, so that's like we don't have like the regular things we would know. It was really fun. Wow, we for sure this is gonna be an annual thing because it was really fun to do it like live reacting.
You guys got to see every single reaction, the good and the bad.
And the surprises.
And with that, that is the end of this week's episode. We'll see you guys next week. Make sure you follow us on all of our social medias, our YouTube, and follow Kennedy's YouTube. You know, go watch her Friendsgiving or Thanksgiving video. A little self promo. But we'll see you guys next week on the Girls Lounge. Bye.
Bye. Follow us before they ban TikTok.